Hi everyone, this is Becca Ellison. I just wanted to remind everyone that I'm working at the Embry Rucker Community Shelter out in Reston. The highlights for my past couple of weeks, well, I had the flu. Both of my kids had the flu, and so I missed a whole week out of practicum. And while I was gone, I'm not exactly sure what happened. But when I came back, the agency had decided to separate me from the task manager that I'd been having difficulty with. So I am now answering to a senior MSW. They gave me a family to work with, which I'm excited about. That's my first family. It's a single mom with two kids under 5. So as far as competencies, ethical and professional behavior, of course, engaged in diversity and difference, human rights and social justice, lots of research, looking for working with families is a lot different than working with individuals, and so it's opened me up to learning more about employment and childcare and educational opportunities, because most of the singles that I've worked with were they either already had college degrees or they were older and not interested. I engaged and intervened with families and individuals this week. We have one of our ladies from the women's group will be leaving us on Monday. And pardon me, she is having a struggle. She's full-time employed, but she's not making enough money to pay rent around here, and she told me on Thursday evening that she's now considering moving to Maryland, which is where her job is. But she told me that she can't. She said, I can't be a person that just rents an individual room. I guess she has an adult child in college, and she wants him to be able to come and stay with her over the summer, and he is not aware of her current situation. So she's in kind of a tough spot, and we talked about it. So she had some things to think about over the weekend, and of course I did share with her that our program, if she should go outside of Fairfax County, can pay for first month's rent and a deposit, provided we have funding anywhere in the country. So I told her, if you decide you want to move back to your home state, or if you want to pick a more affordable state, something like that, if your job can let you transfer, those were certainly options for her. The supervision that I had this week was pretty interesting. Most of what we covered surrounded my issues with the task manager, because my supervisor that I have this semester is not the same supervisor that I had last semester, so she was unaware of some of the issues. So we discussed the issues. We talked about maybe how some of my behaviors and thought processes contributed to the situation, as well as the other person. We spent, even the week that I had the flu, I still went in for supervision. So I had 2 hours of supervision over the last couple weeks. Problems, concerns. The biggest concern that I'm having right now is the single mom client that I have has indicated to me that she's interested in getting educational opportunities. She does have some college under her belt, and she said, my credit score is not very good. I want to be able to increase my earning potential. All of her current work experience is in cleaning houses, but she said, I've got 2 kids, daycare's closed at 6, and I would like to be able to have the skills, maybe like office skills, that is a little more conducive to having a family. She seemed like she had a really good head on her shoulders, and so I spent the week doing research on childcare options for her, trying to figure out educational opportunities. There's a couple of programs here in Fairfax County, the WIOA program. I forget what the acronym stands for. It's WIOA, and it's for people 16 to 24 years old, and it trains them in certain programs, and it's funded through the state, and I believe federal dollars fall to the state for that. So she's already in the program, but she had a misunderstanding, I guess, with the person that explained the program to her, because she took college entrance exams and her math scores are very low, so she's under the impression that she has to get tutoring and bring those scores up before she can continue in the program, and I found out that that's actually not the case. The issue that I've had is, like I said, she has a good head on her shoulders, and she seemed very motivated when when you do intake with clients at a shelter, they're always very motivated. Oh, I want to find a job. I want to find a house. I want to do all of this stuff. And then once they get their bed or once they get their room, they don't engage. And that's been my experience with this young lady over the past week. She's been missing in action. We weren't able to actually complete all of the intake paperwork with her. I left her several notes saying you have to do these things or you can't stay in the program. I called her on her cell phone on Thursday and said, I'm only here 2 days a week. I have to see you today because I'm required to have a weekly meeting with you. And she said that she was at a doctor's appointment with her child. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back. She never came back. I was there with the women's group meeting until almost 8 o'clock on Thursday evening, and I didn't see her. One of the shelter staff told me that she's staying out after curfew and that sort of thing. So I guess all of that to say that leads into the question that I have. What are other people doing to deal with unmotivated clients? I know it's a problem because circumstances are bigger than necessarily things that we can do. But I'm just curious to know if anybody else has dealt with clients that are unmotivated or maybe have limitations and they're not engaging with you, and if any of you have had any success using techniques to re-engage with the client and get them in. I'd really like to help this lady. Unfortunately, if she doesn't engage with me, the sad truth is that her 30 days will roll by and then they will put her out of the program, and then she'll be out there with 2 kids and no place to go again. So just curious to know what other people's experience has been. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy that beautiful weather. See you next time.